Hi, I'm Crystal, relationship coach for women. Welcome to Amor de Luna. Let's talk about discernment. So, discernment is really being able to perceive, understand, and judge situations between being truth or lies, things that are right and wrong for you. And when it comes to people pleasing and anxious attachment, we got to talk about this. Now, I took a spiritual test at church and I was shocked that discernment was my strength because for years I thought it was my biggest insecurity because I haven't been able to trust myself to use that discernment. I could feel it strongly. I constantly ignored it though and convinced myself out of it or people pleased instead of following what I knew would be right or wrong for me. Now, I've been in a season of learning how to be the best version of myself and really parenting myself, especially being a former people pleaser with anxious attachment. That, yes, I still struggle with, but we're not affirming that. And what I mean by parenting myself is not doing things that I don't want to do and being honest about doing the things I do want to do to the best of my ability. If it aligns with my values, I'm doing it. If it doesn't, I'm not. And really being clear on why I want to do something or why I don't want to do something so I can have my own back. And I had to be real with myself. I can't do anxious attachment anymore. I can't do people pleasing anymore. It's painful. And quite frankly, people find it harder to be around you. People pleasing is not kindness. It's manipulation and it's self-abandonment. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Because when you're people pleasing, you're not being genuine. You're performing to get a result, to be loved, to be accepted, to feel secure. And not only are you manipulating the other person, but you're also hurting yourself because they start to pull away and you don't understand why. You start not to trust yourself more and more because now you don't even know who you truly are. You're just playing a role. You're constantly adapting your personality to conform to what you believe they would want. And by default, you don't know who you truly are and are unable to use your discernment to determine if people, situations, or things are good or bad for you. Now, the thing is, when you grow up in environments where love isn't consistent or you had to play a role to be someone or something for people, your brain adapts. Your nervous system learns. Scan for danger, scan for rejection, scan for disconnection, scan to prove you're worthy by saying instead of listening, reacting instead of responding, proving instead of being. Now, this is tied to your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threat. So, an anxiously attached person or people pleaser, you become hyper aware of people's facial expressions, tone changes, energy shifts. You feel everything. And they feel the pressure, so much pressure, because your brain has conditioned now to train to survive. And survival for you means control to gain security and love. And I get that how ugly it sounds. I mean, speaking for myself, my intention was to love. I wanted to serve. I wanted to do right. I wanted to love people and to show them how much I loved. I loved them. And I would say it often, but the root of it was anxiousness, fear. I wouldn't be enough or I'd be too much. It was the need to control the outcome, the desperation to not be abandoned, to feel truly safe. And that made me ignore my discernment. And people around me learned they could not trust me. And I couldn't even trust me. And when someone I loved pulled away, I would have an identity crisis because my identity was them. They were my whole world, my regulator for my emotions, my mental well-being. Very painful experiencing that for both parties involved. And when I look back now, I can pinpoint exact moments when I knew something was wrong or I knew something was right and I ignored it thinking I was doing the right thing for the person, the situation, for the outcome, but it was never truly for them or for me. For example, with my ex-husband, I knew on my wedding day, my discernment was loud, like loud. This is not right. You're not supposed to be here. And no hate to him at all. I wish him the best. But the truth is still the truth. My body was screaming at me, you are not supposed to marry this person. And I still went through with it because I wanted the outcome. We had been together for so long. I wanted the relationship to work. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to love. I wanted stability. And the brain has two systems. There's the emotional, which is fast and reactive, and the logical, which is slow and intentional. When you're anxious, your emotional system overrides everything. You make decisions not based on truth, but based on fear of losing something. And now you become a shadow of the person you fear losing the most, hoping for safety, praying for security. That's when it's so painful when that person leaves or when they hurt you. That betrayal or abandonment hits harder than anything. I know for me, it hurt worse than anything I ever felt before because you truly felt safe with this person or felt like they were your person. And I knew every single time. Even before I saw proof, I felt it. And if you've been through that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling in your body like something's off, something's wrong, that your nervous system, it's picking up on inconsistencies. But I ignored my discernment. I ignored standing up for myself and decided to be ignorant of the situation to keep them a little longer. Because if I called it out, I'd have to leave. Or they would. Your body processes information before your conscious mind does. And that's why your heart changes, your stomach drops, your energy shifts, because your brain is detecting patterns. And you're reacting, not responding. And instead of trusting those red flags or green flags, I ignored them. I gave the benefit of the doubt. I told myself, I'm overthinking. And instead of communicating the healthy way, I investigated. And that hurt me more because now all I had was details playing in my head over and over and over every single day, no matter what I did to control those thoughts. Listening to that internal signal and responding in a healthy way, not reacting, not ignoring, but addressing. And that applies to good things as well. I can't tell you how many times I ignored an opportunity in college because I felt, no, I need to be this way for my family, so I can't do that. Or I have to be this way, so I don't change and grow myself, or I'll abandon my best friend and they'll feel left behind. Don't block your blessings. And biblically, this is exactly what we're called to do. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else. That doesn't mean being closed off. It means being aware, using your discernment to detach from the result, not the person. So how do you build discernment, right? You rebuild trust with yourself, because every time you ignore your intuition, you weaken that muscle. And every time you honor it, you strengthen it. Just like at the gym. And for me, I attached a higher power to it. I leaned into God, especially, for example, my current husband. Especially my husband now. He left for the army, and I had no choice but to face myself. And then everything hit all at once. We experienced loss together. I was having some health issues, and I was in a different environment. I had nothing but God. And I realized He has never betrayed me. He has never abandoned me. So I started asking God, what should I do? Guide me. Now, scientifically, your intuition is your subconscious, right? It's built from past experiences, your environment, pattern recognition. But spiritually, I believe it's God the Spirit guiding you. And even the other day, I felt it instantly. I was at the gym, and I met a girl. She was super nice, but my body said, leave. And I listened. And before, I wouldn't have. Because I didn't trust myself, and now I do. So, how do you build this? You start small. Speak up when something feels off. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you feel silly, say it. Because that's how you train your voice. Something that's really helped me is meditation and prayer, and yes, I combine them. I'll pick a simple YouTube video, something like a meditation for detachment, and I'll just sit there for 5 minutes. I keep it short on purpose, easy, simple, accessible, the least amount resistance, because I know if it feels overwhelming or time consuming, you'll have the most resistance to it. So during that time, I also talk to God. I pray, I tell him what's on my mind, what I'm feeling, what I'm struggling with, and then I close it out. And another thing I do too is when I'm driving to the gym in the mornings, I open up my voice memos on my phone and I just talk. I just let everything out. Whatever's on my heart, whatever's on my brain, whatever I'm carrying that day. And after that, I either grab a pen and paper or I even use ChatGPT, whatever feels easiest that day, and I organize what I said into themes, the main topics that came up, and it's honestly so revealing. It shows you where your mind is at that exact moment, what you're worried about, what you're avoiding, what you're holding, what you're afraid of. And over time, when you look back, you start to see progression. It's encouraging. You realize how far you've actually come. And I know people pleasing is exhausting. I know how painful it is, but you will move through it. And I thank God that he blessed me with the husband that loved me through it, because a big part of healing is teaching your body that it's safe to be with you, that you can trust yourself, that you're not going to keep putting yourself in situations where you abandon your own needs. And I had to learn that the hard way when my husband was telling me this the entire time, to be my own person and trust myself. And I would always say, like, I don't care, you pick, or you do this, you do that. And I thought I was being easy to be around, but the truth is, it doesn't make things easier. It puts pressure all on the other person, and it slowly disconnects you from yourself and from them. If someone suggests something and you don't want to do it, speak up. Even if your voice trembles, even if your heart starts racing and your body feels tense, speak up anyways. That's how trust is built within yourself, little by little, through the small moments where you choose yourself. And people will know what you like, what you don't like. And it creates stability. It makes you a safe person. And you don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to start. Discernment is not about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about choosing truth over fear and trusting that you know more than you think you do. And God will guide you when you start to listen. Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things. Not every feeling is truth. Discernment protects you from that emotional deception. It's the ability to see clearly without being led by fear, attachment, or emotion, because you are rooted in God, truth, and self-trust. And I'm grateful that my husband would call me out on it. But God will consistently put the challenge in front of you until you learn the lesson. And like I said, I had to learn the hard way. So, become a safer person. Grow your discernment. Start trusting yourself. Be genuinely you. And people will start to trust you again, because you will trust yourself again, because you're leaning on a higher power to fulfill those needs instead of putting it all on somebody else. Now use your discernment on this video. If this resonated with you, if any of this you feel like, that's me, I have a link in the description. We can work together if I'm the right coach for you. Follow, like for more. And if you're listening on a podcast, then like and follow to continue getting this content, because I want to be able to help you overcome. If you're single, being intentional in your singleness journey, using discernment to do that. In relationship or dating, being intentional about that so you can stop wasting your time. So you become a safe person. You can attract other safe people. And if you're married, to revamp your marriage, to build a stronger foundation. My husband and I have chosen each other, and we've been through the ringer, and we've been through amazing memories together. And we've had guidance, and we've had mentors and coaches that we've invested into to grow ourselves. It truly is self love when you invest into yourself, investing your time, your money into growing you. So I hope this helps. Bye.